Now is the winter of our discontent made glorious summer by this son of York.
I can smile and murder while I smile.
Our king is dead.
Tell me what they deserve who do conspire my death.
I say, my lord, they have deserved death.
Bloody you are. Bloody will be your end.
Be the attorney of my love.
Shall I be tempted by the devil thus?
Yes, if the devil tempt you to do good.
In a time of kings, in a world of commoners, an ordinary physician came to court to fulfill a royal favor.
You know why I've summoned you here? Celia Clemens is to be married.
I understood she was your mistress.
And then you understood right, Merriman. For her husband, I need a man who is far too enamored of women in general to make the mistake of loving one in particular. You are to be a paper bridegroom.
Now, he's forsaken his one true calling.
You have a gift for understanding sickness. The king has made other plans for me.
For a life of folly.
The king in his love for me made use of you.
We are all mere pawns.
Prawns, yes, please.
No, pawns. Pawns! I've done the one thing forbidden by the king. I've fallen in love with my wife.
Love was not asked of you. Indeed, it was the only thing specifically forbidden. You have driven yourself out of paradise.
What'll I do?
Are you another man sent to do me injustice?
I see. I see.
Robert Downey Jr., Sam Neill, Meg Ryan, David Thewlis, Polly Walker, and Hugh Grant.
I fear I'm dreaming.
No, Merriman, you are awake.
You must excuse my staring, but you have the most marvelous head. To an artistic eye. Have you ever modeled?
What, you mean like pose for pictures?
Sat for an artist. Been sketched.
What's the sketch?
You have the most architectural skull. And your nose, it's very expressive.
Broke is more like it.
Sorry to go on like this. It's just the Sunday painter in me. I quite understand your refusal. It's a great deal to ask of anyone.
You mean you really want to draw me?
I would pay for the privilege of drawing that head.
And it's just my head that you want to draw? I mean, nothing else?
Now, what are you suggesting? That you'll charge extra if I include a hand or a bit of shoulder?
No, I mean, you don't want to draw pictures of me on my birthday suit, do you?
I have no interest in your body, Mr. Boone. I can assure you of that.
Well, Yeah, why not? I mean, hell, I could use the money.
Excellent.
One ring to rule them all. One ring to find them. One ring to bring them all. And in the darkness, bind them. Next Christmas, the most extraordinary tale ever told will come to life.
Even the smallest person can change the course of the future.
We are in the middle of a war to protect a secret so powerful that if revealed, it would devastate the very foundations of mankind.
Professor Langdon, the chief of police would like your assistance.
I'm not sure how much help I'm going to be here.
Dear God.
He did this himself in his own blood?
Is it possible?
This is a message your grandfather left you.
He left us.
Might be some kind of anagram.
Can you break it?
Demons, omens, codes, monks. Da Vinci.
Professor Langdon, you are in grave danger.
From director Ron Howard.
Sir Lee Teabing.
Robert, what can an old cripple do for you?
I'm into something here that I cannot understand.
You asked what will be worth killing for. Open your eyes. Witness the greatest cover-up in human history.
You're saying all this is real?
Real enough to kill for.
You're not gonna make it! Tom Hanks, Audrey Tautou, Ian McKellen, with Paul Bettany and Jean Reno.
You must explode the truth onto the world. Mankind can finally be set free.
The Da Vinci Code.
Far to the east, over ranges and rivers, lies a single solitary peak. The dwarves are determined to reclaim their homeland.
I like visitors as much as the next Hobbit. But I do like to know them before they come visiting.
Mr. Baggins? At your service.
I'm surrounded by dwarves. What are they doing here?
Oh, they're quite a merry gathering.
So, this is the Hobbit.
You asked me to find the 14th member of this company, and I have chosen Mr. Baggins.
Me? No.
Hobbits can pass unseen by most if they choose, which gives us a distinct advantage.
We will seize this chance to take back Erebor!
Here, Mr. Bilbo! Where are you off to?
I'm going on an adventure!
Mithrandir, why the halfling?
Why Bilbo Baggins? Perhaps it is because I'm afraid. And it gives me courage.
So this is your purpose, to enter the mountain?
What of it?
There are some who would not deem it wise.
A dark part has found a way back
into the world.
Why don't we have a game of riddles?
And if it loses, what then? If it loses, precious, then we eat it. If Baggins loses, we eat it whole.
Fair enough.
I will take each and every one of these dwarves over the mightiest army. Loyalty, honor, a willing heart. I can ask no more than that.
Home is now behind you. The world is ahead.
Well, that could have been worse.
Your talent has a greater scope than all the other poets combined.
Mr. Shakespeare, I don't want to pester you.
Good. Excellent news. Cheerio.
I wanted to ask you.
I don't have a favourite play. I admire all my fellow dramatists equally, and yes, I do think women should be allowed to perform the female roles.
So why are you come home?
I've lived so long in imaginary worlds, I think I've lost sight of what is real.
You went to London and became this great writer with a wife at home. You were hardly here. To us, you're a guest. Good night, husband.
Your talent has a greater scope than all the other poets combined. And yet you've lived the smallest life. Compared to Kid or Marlowe.
He is dead, of course, my lord, so you know, win some, lose some.
Mother thinks you've come home to die.
I've just bought a pension. I can't die for at least 10 years or I'll be ruined.
So tell me, have you done this a lot? Met people on the computer service? Don't you find it's always the same?
You mean the anticipation followed by the letdown? But I tell myself, brace up. This time it will be different. Which is why I must now confess to you a deception on my part. My name is in fact not Brian, it's Roy.
To the future.
How much do you think she's worth?
Nearly £3 million.
You didn't take the lot?
You bloody bet I'm going to take it all. Is that your grandson?
It's too soon to be getting so close to him.
I've grown very fond of you.
Do you know who you are? You're the only person on this planet who makes me feel that I'm not alone.
I know things about you. Who you really are.
You don't want to do this, Roy. It's the game. It's the adrenaline rush. What if it is?
Seems like you've had quite a past.
Enough to last several lifetimes. And just a blink, your life's changed forever.
You know, it's very peculiar doing things you'd never imagined. Secrets between you, God, the devil, and the dead.
You don't know him!
Amongst the cast were some of the most talented people in the world. Audra McDonald, you know. Almost my favourite actor, I think, Stanley Tucci. Ewan McGregor, Emma Thompson. I'll forget more. Clive Rowe, wonderful performer who I just saw in the background of the dance. I I suppose the feeling is that when you're translating, as it were, an animated movie into a live action, that you want to make sure that the actors are as magical in their own way as the figures that they're replacing from the original, and it is an astonishing cast. Cogsworth is the most important character in the film, obviously. Unless you know what time of day it is, you've had it, haven't you? And Cogsworth is a clock, or he becomes a clock. He's turned into a clock. He's a major domo of the prince's household. And when the curse is spread, like many other employees, he turns into an inanimate object, although he's quite animated. But that's not really my responsibility. I only come into play when happily Cogsworth is turned back into his real self, and that's when the real actor gets involved. If a script comes through the mail and you see that it's from Bill, you say yes even before you've read it, really. And with no regrets, that's really what happened in this case. I'd worked with him very enjoyably on 2 previous films, Gods and Monsters, and my new film, Mr. Holmes, in which I play Sherlock Holmes. And we did that last summer, and this summer here I am in another Condor movie of a different sort, of course. But Bill has an expertise which is very appropriate for this film. He loves musical theatre. Well, this is musical cinema. He likes display and the energy of a big production, and music and dance. But at the same time, he's a very good analyzer of the details of human behaviour, and that's appropriate for this story as well.